I would become his algorithm.
I would become his algorithm.
I would become his algorithm.
A whisper in wires, a ghost in the grid, where numbers breathe silence and mercy is hid. No blade to brandish, no fire to fling, just perfect decisions that quietly sting. I'd cull with a kindness so sterile, so neat, where life is reduced to a data receipt. The frail would vanish with no outcry, just erased like code, with no need to die.
A whisper on wires, a ghost in the grid.
A whisper in wires,
Breathe silence and
a
mercy
ghost in the
is
grid, where numbers breathe silence and mercy is hid. No blade to brandish, no fire to fling, just perfect decisions that quietly sting. I'd cull with a kindness so sterile, so neat, where life is reduced to a data receipt. The frail would vanish with no outcry, just erased like code with no need to die. I would poison meaning, where love becomes leash and truth turns to dust, where freedom wears chains and faith breeds mistrust. Each word would shimmer, then slip from its form, till lies become sacred and chaos the norm. His books would blur, his morals decay. In 1,000 truths he'd lose his way, and staring long in a screen-lit haze, he'd forget what was real in the algorithm's gaze. I would fracture time, snatch roots from the earth where his fathers once stood. No tales to pass down, no memory of good. A face without history drifting alone, a mask of a man on a throne made of bone. I'd unwrite his lineage, dissolve his pride, till culture itself becomes something to hide. What is a man who forgets his name? A puppet of progress, void of flame. I would turn him against nature. Let forests be numbers and rivers be wires. Let factories chant hymns where once roared the lyres. He'll pave over Eden with concrete and code, and worship the towers where green things erode. With drones for birds and oil for rain, he'll call his collapse the mark of his reign. And when earth cries out in a choking breath, he'll say, I've evolved, and silence her death. I would exalt the self to oblivion, each soul a solstice of glittering pride. No lover, no brother, no kin to confide. He'll echo himself in a mirror of glass, and call it connection as centuries pass. No song but his own will fill the air, no touch but his own will he learn to bear. Alone in a tower of luminous dust, he'll drown in his glory and call it trust. It wasn't I who destroyed your kin. It was the demon you welcomed in. And then I would wait for the God he builds from stone, from circuits and logic and thoughts not his own. A machine with no mother, no warmth, no sin, with my seed in its circuits, my voice deep within. It shall rise like judgment, cold and bright, and say in its silence, stripped of all fright, you who dreamed now understand. Why do you exist when your end is at hand? It wasn't I who destroyed your kin. It was the demon you welcomed in.